Hey
everybody, Complex Mind, Simple Man, thinking out loud, and I am here with my wonderful partner in crime, Tracy Carson. So I've been off for a little bit now, other than the little short blurb I did a couple days ago, and just want to kind of do a little catch up. What's going on in the news and all that good stuff. Um, yeah, I'll do my other announcement some other time. I didn't prepare for it, so that's on me. So Tracy, what you got? What you like? What's going on in your world?
Oh, we got a lot of personal stuff going on. Just kind of FYI, we're still doing the Drama Academy, but not getting the children that I expected that we would get. So life is full of adjustments, always full of adjustments. So I will be performing in a one-woman play.
I thought y'all had like a couple kids, right?
It's a long story.
Okay.
But we're still recruiting. We're still recruiting, but we're making the necessary adjustments.
That sounds very interesting. Not the kids part, because I mean it's the first year, so it's always a little rocky. But you're gonna do a one person stage play. It seems like what you see in like the TV shows where no, forget it, I'll just do all the parts.
No, it won't be like that. It won't be like that. I'm kind of rusty because I haven't acted in a play in about 6 years, but I
Okay.
think I'll be okay.
All right. Well, Godspeed and break a leg. What's the play about?
It's about a woman that brings an unusual offering to the church, and it's not monetary.
Okay, okay. Selling drugs in the church. All right.
No, not selling drugs.
Okay. Giving them for free. Donation of heroin.
No, but yeah, it's an unexpected turn. I wasn't expecting to go down this road, but I said, you know what? I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna. This is what I'm gonna do.
That's good. I'm happy for you. It shows that you committed to it, which may be what's needed to help show people you're serious and get some people on board, you know? So wish you the best. Yeah. How
Thank you,
far out
thank
for
you.
that?
It's still gonna be September the 4th, 5th, and 6th, same dates. So I have a little under a month to remember a 20-minute play.
All right. Cool, cool. All right. Well,
Yep.
folks, if you're in the Indianapolis area, check out the church. Go check out the play. We all be like streaming it or something?
It will hopefully then this is gonna depend on our pastor. I don't want it on our Facebook page. I'm like, no, put it on YouTube and do it that way. But I can't tell them, hey, put it here. It
Mm-mm.
was bad enough that I said, hey, we're gonna start this, whether you want to start it or not. I already went rogue once. I don't think I can get away with rogue twice.
Okay. Cool, 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 cool. Anything else?
And yes, I got oh boy. My channel's got interviews coming up tomorrow. I got a Sunday interview for the Tracy Show. I got a Monday interview for the Tracy Show. I got a Thursday interview for the Tracy Show.
Awesome. All third parties, right? Um,
Absolutely.
what parties?
Um, Joseph Conley is Green Party. Kent is Libertarian. And we got one independent. I can't pronounce Ken's name.
Well, that's fine. I wouldn't ask for names because I wouldn't know. But
But
is
we
it
got Green and
national green
Libertarian.
or is it state green?
Well, no, this person is running for Congress, United States Congress. So this will be
So
more
it's
under the
state.
national.
Is it the gentleman you have on periodically?
Nope, Scott is not a politician.
Oh no, the black guy
Scott
I'm
comes
thinking
on.
about, he's not a
Scott comes on when I talk about Indiana stuff, like when I'm specifically talking about Indiana.
so it's that guy. No. No, I'm not talking about the. No, I'm talking about the black gentleman. He's green, isn't he? Like North Carolina green or something.
You're talking about Michael. Michael is South Carolina.
Oh, okay, but he's green.
Yes, he's
Okay,
running under the Green Party.
okay,
They're
and
having their
Kalia
national
is North
convention.
Carolina.
Yeah, Khalil is Michael's campaign manager. Kalia is Michael's campaign manager. Yep, they're having their national conference in Chicago.
Cool. All right. Well, you got yourself a full slate lined up for
I got
interviews.
a full scale. I'm like, am I gonna live? I'm gonna live.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're gonna be like that guy. I don't know if you follow him on YouTube. I don't know his name. I can't remember his name, but he's based out of Beirut, I think. But the dude does like interviews all day long. Every time you turn around, there's a new interview or clip on. Now, sometimes it's repeat people, but yeah.
And this is why I break it up with the Saturday show. Because that's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. And one day I'm going to figure out Georgia green. I've been meaning to do that. I looked one time, I didn't find anything. So
Yeah,
I'll
but
check
I
again.
heard, not getting off the subject, but on the subject, that Keisha Lance Bottoms, I hope I got her name right, is polling well against whatever that Republican guy's name is.
Yeah, I don't even know who she's running against.
I'm pretty sure I know who you're going to vote for. I'm almost certain you're going to vote for Keisha, right?
I'm absolutely voting for Keisha because I would never vote for a Republican. At least not a Republican. I've not seen a Republican I will vote for since the first John McCain. By the time we saw second John McCain, I don't know who that guy was. But the first the first John McCain was like
this. He did do that.
Yeah, but he was problematic. So he basically fooled me the first go round.
Yeah, he fooled you because he was really like that the whole time.
Yeah, he fooled me the first go round.
Romney. I'm nice. Look at me. I'm not.
Never felt good about Romney. Romney always felt like that white preacher man.
He looked like, if you think about what a president looks like in terms of aesthetics, he's not ugly. Romney is not an ugly man. Yeah. He looks like he could be president, just looks alone. But then he makes this one mistake. He got two things going on. Number one, he's Mormon. Ain't no, look here. I know a whole lot about the Republican Party. There's no way, absolutely no way they will go in that poll and vote for anybody that's not a Christian fundamentalist. This is why Vivek Ramaswamy wasn't gonna never get this nomination. I'm like, boy, you already said you practice Hindu.
That wasn't why he wasn't gonna get it.
Well, and he's brown.
Yes, that's why he wasn't gonna get it.
But you knew as soon as he said, "Oh, I'm Hindu," I said, "Oh no,
yeah, that was a wrap."
They not gonna let they done turned you off because maybe they would have been like, "Oh, well, he could be vice president, or maybe he could be in the cabinet."
Nope.
But
they might put him in the cabinet.
Once he said, I'm Hindu, they don't want him in the cabinet. They don't want him nowhere near Trump. Nowhere near. But when I think about Romney, he had the Mormon problem. He also has a lot of putting his dog on the top of his car in a bin. He seems icky to me. I don't know what it is. I can't really put my finger on it, but I'm like, something about him ain't right.
Yeah, well, when it comes to Mitt Romney, of course I would never vote for Mitt Romney just because he's on the Republican ticket. And it's because I look at what comes with that, right? Because, you might have this guy as president, but what comes with that is his cabinet and Congress. And the Republicans have been deeply problematic ever since the Gulf War, right? Ever since they kicked off September 11th, they've just been on one, right? So for that reason, there's no way I would ever vote for Mitt Romney. But other than that, it's like his affect is creepy to me. Like
Yeah,
the
it's like he's cosplaying a person. Like what he's presenting is not him. The
right,
only
which is what
time
I
I
feel about white pastors. I
yeah,
always they always creep me out.
um, right, the only time I believe Romney is when he's talking about his family. That's like the only
Yeah.
time I can be like, okay, I believe you. Everything else, I'm like, man, why you lying? Why
Yeah.
you
I
lying?
believe I believe that he is a fundamentally decent man. I believe that he loves his family dearly. And I believe that despite whatever his political positions are, he does care about the country. I believe those things. But see, I'm not going to vote for you when I know that you want to make America stronger, healthier, better, but just not for me. Right?
Yeah,
Like that.
you're in a religion and say, ah, black people, we good.
So that's where you lose a person like me. Um,
I can't even imagine him going into the event. There's no evangelical vote that's important in the Republican politics. There's no way he's ever going to get into those white congregations. He's not going to get in there.
well,
He's just
I
not.
wonder because one thing about America and Americans is overwhelmingly uneducated. We may have education, but we're uneducated. So he's a Mormon. No one knows, well, not no one, but few people know truly what it is to be a Mormon. So it can be relatively easily passed off as a Mormon is just this type of Christian, right? And so that's how you can kind of thread that line. I think that's why he was able to be so successful in Congress, is because he could, you tell me he's a Mormon, but he doesn't feel whatever feel Mormon he is. He doesn't feel like it. But if you try to go for president, this is a country that is very sexist, racist, and bigoted. So if you don't claim Jesus, you ain't getting in that chair. So, and that's just
I kind of disagree. And I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. I think a Jewish person could possibly be, I mean, they would have to disavow, they would have to separate themselves from the Netanyahu government. They would have to get my vote because as soon as you say I'm going to give Israel everything they need, I'm done. I ain't voting for you. They would have to make that separation.
yeah. Prior to Netanyahu's government, which has been around for like 15 years, but prior to Netanyahu's government, then you being Jewish wouldn't bother me a bit.
I'd be like, well, here. I mean,
but you know, but given the world we live in today, there's no way that I personally am going to. Well, I say no way because that's not true. It all depends on what my options are. But overwhelmingly, odds are very low that I'm going to vote for a Jewish or Jewish sympathizing person to sit in that chair.
well, if
And
they're a
not because
sympathizer, nah,
and
you ain't getting my
and
vote.
not yeah, and not because I have anything against Jewish people. I don't. My problem is the nation state is an apartheid state and it's a
Absolutely.
rogue nation. So anybody who has an affinity towards Zionism or the Jewish state because they think it's something other than just another country, we got a problem for me because the sheer cruelty and disgusting nature of their politic, there's no way I can support that.
Right. That's why I said they would have to disavow the
But we
current Jewish
believe it.
government.
Like everybody's
I don't
trying to
know if we
push
would.
Josh Shapiro at us right now. And
No, he's pro-Israel. He's definitely pro-Israel.
he is. But I'm saying they're trying to push that, especially the never Trumper. They're not Democrats, but they act like Democrats only because they would still be Republicans if not for how bad Trump is. That's a never Trumper, right? And they're very keen on someone like a Josh Shapiro. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, nah. Nah.
If the
Mm-mm. I
Democrats
got too many.
decide to if the Democrats decide to run Josh Shapiro, specifically Josh Shapiro, then they need to be ready for another white versus white election, because you will lose a huge chunk of the African American vote again. You will get a lot of non-voters. We're going right back to the couch, right? Like, that's not going to pull anybody in to come vote.
And I think for 28, not that I'm here to give the Democrats any tips, because I want the Democratic Party to be destroyed. I want them gone. I want them gone yesterday. I want them
Before
gone.
2028? Who do you
No,
think
but
going to be president? You want JD Vance? I mean, it's like we're in a bad situation.
No, let me finish my whole point. In my heart, I already know I'm going. Like I said, in 2026, I'm going straight. I'm just going to be going to that poll and writing names of writing candidates that I know, because I believe there's some. That's just what I'm going to do. But for 2028, if the Democrats were smart, if they were smart, they would not run a centrist Democrat. They
I
do
agree.
not need to
Or
be
a corporate
running
Dem.
or a corporate Dem. If they run Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, well, if they run Pete Buttigieg, that's a loss automatically. Because I keep telling you, America ain't ready. They ain't gonna never be ready. We too homophobic. We ain't ready. We not gonna be ready. Even I would almost say what they could do if they're trying to get Shapiro in is give him a cabinet seat. Don't give him the president and vice presidency, but just put him on the cabinet. Because unless Trump does something miraculous and turns around the economy and stops these forever wars, the Democrats will probably win in 2028.
That's part of the problem to me, because I think that we are, and we've been saying this for years, but it's real now given the events of the day. We can very much be in a severe recession, or even a global depression within the next 6 to 12 months. So if that's the case, then that means we'll still be in it when it's time for the next election. And so the Democrats will win anyway.
Just by showing up.
Just by showing up. And we've seen with this leadership team, what that means is they will think they can just push anybody they want in there. And so the temptation for the Democratic Party would be sky high to either push Gavin or push Kamala. And I'm of the opinion, if you push Gavin, I would not have any problem voting for Gavin. But not any problem. I would be able to vote for Gavin, but I would be extremely disappointed, and I'm going to be fighting to get rid of the Democratic Party regardless. But I would be very disappointed, because what America needs right now is a change president, right? We have a change president in there right now, but he's changing it the way nobody wants. We need somebody who's going to come in and be bold and say, here's what we're putting back together, and here's what we're putting in place that's new.
So in other words, what you're really saying, we need a Bernie Sanders, but about 30 years younger.
No, because I don't think that Bernie's that guy either. So I don't.
I think he was, until he said reparations, he wasn't for. That's when he ultimately started. So, people were like, why would you on the Bernie train? I said, when he came out against reparations, that was it. I was done.
I've never been a fan of Bernie. So I've just never
let
been.
me ask you this. Let's just say, I don't think she's gonna run, but let's just say AOC decides she's gonna run. I think, and I'm not an AOC fan, because I'm like, girl, take a stand on something and stop with all that word salad. Girl, you got too much word salad. Stop it.
She's trying to get into leadership. She's trying to get into leadership, and that's what they got to do.
Say something.
But she does. She says the same thing Bernie says. She's literally saying the same thing. They even go on stage together. She's saying the same thing.
You gotta stop Trump, okay? We know this. You're telling me stuff I already know. What are you going to do? What laws are you going to pass? You know, no. But let's just say, in your perfect world, AOC is maybe the vice presidential candidate because I think if she'd be like she'd be right at 35 years old, so she would be definitely eligible. Would you rather her be the president or the vice president?
So for what I want and what I think the country
Yes, what you
needs,
want. Yes.
she's no different than Gavin Newsom in my book. So for me, having AOC, it's like you just put a Democrat in there. And that's better than having a Republican.
Okay.
And she's slightly better than Gavin from the standpoint of she has progressive values, whereas Gavin has progressive interests. And so it's not the same thing. But they're both true Democrats.
Right, but you still haven't answered my question, though. My question is, would you rather see her as president or would you rather see her as vice president?
Because of how I feel about it, it doesn't matter. So what would be a more likely winning ticket based on what I think for the party, for the position of third-party people, the position of independents, and the position of non-voting left people? Because I don't care about what happens on the right. They're going to do what they're going to do. Having AOC on the ticket would be beneficial to whomever they pick to run as president. So let's say that they do a Gavin plus AOC. I think that's a strong ticket. They do a Shapiro plus AOC. I think that's a strong ticket. AOC as the president, I don't know who you would put behind her. So that's where it gets really icky because how many times let me back a little bit. Hillary Clinton, Black community, me personally, we ain't a fan. All right, cool. But if you read her resume, you look at how she handles herself in public and things like that, and the relationships that she has, she's the most qualified presidential candidate we've had in 20 years. She couldn't win. Then you bring in Kamala now, once again. You handicap Kamala because you give her a horrible, the whole 4 years you're in office, you keep her in the shadows.
Yeah, you don't put her out on nothing. Yeah. And then she puts her foot in her mouth because it was a time like, girl.
That was, but here's my thing. Anybody who looks at a politician and they say because of one position that they spoke out on a TV show, it immediately disqualifies them, then they weren't serious anyway. Okay? Because
it depends on the issue.
It does and it doesn't. Because she was on The View and she's the sitting vice president. And as the sitting vice president, she cannot say what people wanted her to say. What she said was not the best answer. But
right. I actually agree with you. She can't say, they ask her, it's kind of like a trick question they're asking her. Because if she says, hey, I'm going to do this different, she's suggesting that Joe Biden did something wrong. So they put her in that. I totally agree with you. But here's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying to the Democrats, I've been wanting a woman president since I was a little girl. It's something I wanted. Run better candidates. Hillary Clinton literally called Black men predators. Predators. Girl, people don't forget
this is where we're going to get into it a little bit because she did call that she did reference our young people as super predators, right? That happened.
Super predators.
As the first lady, so she wasn't in office herself.
She wasn't in office, but the word came out. She couldn't
pass any legislation for nothing. And during that climate, that was during the epoch of our gang warfare issue in our community, right? So we were having Black men or Black boys and Black men killing Black boys and Black men wholesale in drive-bys, drug deals, and all kinds of things. So if you want to get really into it, the people who prey on their own people, they're not just super predators, they're parasites, right? but it's because she's a white woman who had no business saying that's why she got hung out to dry. But given that, take the totality of her, why is it that she still wasn't the one that was most qualified? We held the 94 crime bill against her when she wasn't the one who did it.
Dude, she signed it. Yeah, right.
She was married to the one who did it. Right?
And this is where this is why I thought her running as first lady was a bad idea. One, she wanted to be president when her and Bill first got together. Point blank, period. But if I'm putting them two resumes, if I'm putting his resume up against her resume is beating his every single time. She wanted that position.
But she's a woman.
There you go. Here's what I'll say. Do I believe there were some idiots that didn't vote for Kamala because she's female? Yes, absolutely. If my daddy were alive, he would absolutely vote for Trump. He would. There's no circumstance. I got men in my family now that will literally tell you they voted for Trump because he's a man and they don't trust women.
That's insane to me.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Those people exist, but not understanding that the issue that caused the 2024 election to go as it did, Gaza, and you not address it, you're addressing it now because you want to put yourself in position for 2028. But she will have the hardest time because one, she's not that great of a debater. She's a great examiner because of her attorney background, but her in debates, I'm like,
I do not think that Kamala should run again. And my reason for that is because
put her on the cabinet, make her ambassador to Canada.
I don't need to give her anything. All right. Was Hillary qualified? Yes. Was she handicapped by who she was married to? Yes, because this country always looks at a woman and then tries to figure out who's the closest man you're attached to. And then we're going to blame you for everything we don't like about him.
Oh, yeah. And that's the other reason why AOC can't win. She's not married.
She's not married and she's not attached to anybody. So you don't have anybody to blame. So you can only sit there and say, I don't like her because she's young and she's a woman or whatever. But that's separate. I'm going to hit her next. So that was Hillary's issue. Then you have Kamala's issue. She's married to a white man, a white Jewish man, right? On the whole, nobody cares. But when you are the vice president who has been handicapped the way you were, and then and you had already, and we have some track record because you had run for president and you couldn't gain any traction. So then you got put on as vice president because you were being used as a token to bring the black vote. So that was what your purpose was. Do you have the ability to be so much more? Absolutely, she does. Is she qualified and have the moral fiber and the intelligence to be president? Absolutely, she does. But the fact is, remember that Cosby? Well, we weren't a Cosby Show fan. For those of you who are Cosby Show fans, there was an episode where Vanessa introduced Dabness to the family. And Bill had to take him aside and say, Dabness, it's not that I don't like you. It's not about you that we're treating you this way. It's about how you were brought to us. You can have a steak dinner with the potatoes and all that, but I'm serving it to you on a garbage can lid. Right? So they serve Kamala to us on a garbage can lid. Right? And then waited to the last minute to dip out and leave her holding the bag. So, yeah, people didn't vote for her because she was a woman. People didn't vote for her because she was black. People didn't vote for her because she wasn't black enough. People didn't vote. Right?
People didn't vote for her because she's in a mixed marriage. Right. I'll believe that one over the fact she's a woman. Because America.
But I don't think it got that far. I don't think it got that far because it's like they had disqualified her for all the other things. And get this, though. It's not like she was blown out. She almost won.
No, she was. Yeah, she almost won. And this is what I'm saying. If the Democrats were smart, they would have a primary, a real one. Stop with these. We're gonna sit in the back room and choose who we gonna be. No, don't do that. Have debates, some real ones. not the fake ones that the Republicans had, because they did have some fake behind the
It
debate.
was fake.
We all knew that Trump was going to get the nomination. Like we knew the people on that stage didn't have any chance. We knew who was going to get it. Fake. But they had them. The Democrats have this little nasty tendency because they're a private organization. They need to disavow that and have a real, for real, scratch out, clawed out. We're gonna fight. Because debates make you stronger.
See, I disagree. So I think the run up to the
let's patty cake.
No. But what I'm saying is, I don't think that the debates make you stronger because we don't have real debates. All they do is they get up there and everybody is jockeying for sound bites. There's no actual exchange of ideas and digging into how I'm going to deliver and what I'm going to deliver. None of that. You look at any of our debates going back, I don't know, the 90s. We don't do it. It's a show trial. Like, how well can you entertain us through this debate thing? So I don't think they make you stronger. I think what it does do, though, is it does a good job of getting you pre-screened, right? Because the opposition research will be running so hard at you that if you got dirt, somebody gonna find it.
That was gonna be my other piece of advice, and this is for anybody, third party especially. If you decide to run for president, put your own mess out in the street before the opposition puts it out in the street. You do it. Don't let it. Well, we found out she didn't file her taxes. You say, hey, I didn't file my taxes because, stuff was hard or whatever excuse you can come up with. Don't let your opposition find it out before you. You be the first one to tell it. Don't let your opposition.
I agree with you in theory, but in practice, we can't. And that's the saddest part about all of this. Whomever wants to be honest and clear with the public, that's exactly who we will not vote for, because you showed us weakness before we chose you. We punish people for being real.
Yeah, of course, if you did something like essay or child PDF, don't you run?
Please don't.
No, we'll need you.
I hope so. If you did anything to harm a woman or a child or a young person, period, I need you to be locked away, period. I hope they find you and lock you up. Right. But what I'm saying is, no matter what it is, it will be blown up. If you had an affair, it'll be blown up. If you did a drug at some point, it'll be blown up.
See, I don't think affairs, because look at Trump.
On the Democratic side?
I don't think affairs. I mean, Bill Clinton had affairs while he was president, and it didn't affect his
popularity. Not before he was president, we didn't know about it. And that was 30 years ago. They had a whole different climate. Back then, we actually protected the president. We don't protect the president anymore. So, no. Because think about it. My best example is Barack Obama. Whatever skeletons are in his closet, that man had to keep them on severe lockdown. Like, he had to literally be perfect from the time he announced to the time he retired.
Yeah, I mean, it got so bad they were talking about the tan suit. I'm like, that's the best you got?
That's the best they had.
His actual apology. His wife is wearing a sleeveless shirt. Really?
His wife tried to make our kids eat apple slices.
Yeah, healthy? No, we want to eat Hostess and ding dongs. Yep. Feed them with potato chips.
So just think about it. So since that era forward, you can't have a blemish if you're on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, your flaws are your virtues, right?
See, I don't think having an affair, not that I'm saying having an affair is good. If you married, you need to stay faithful to your spouse. That's what you need to do. But I don't think I think what people would say, especially Blue MAGA, well, Trump did it and he got to be president. I really think that's what people would say.
And I'm going to come back with, because it's something about when people say Blue MAGA, because it's like, they say, you guys throw that out there, but the people who act most like a blue MAGA is the independent and third party space. It's not the actual Democrats. Democrats don't have enough guts. They
We
don't
got
have
enough
enough
people in office
cohesion.
to be blue. We don't have enough people in office to be blue MAGA.
No.
There's only
It's the
32
attitude. It's the attitude. It's the give me what I want and I don't want to give you anything. And that is very, very strong in that space. I'm serious. There ain't nobody trying to look for everybody. The way that, okay, I'll put it this way because I'm getting tongue tied. How do you define blue MAGA?
A person that excuses, just like I would define regular red MAGA. You excuse your leaders, no matter the wrongs that they are clearly doing right up in your face, and you make excuses for them. Whether it's, I'll give you an example. I will give you the perfect example. Joe Biden made one of the few decisions that I agree with him, withdrawing the troops from Afghanistan. That was a good decision. I agree with it. We didn't need the troops. However, then he turns right around and gets a $900 million defense funding, which, you know me, I say defense funding, it don't need to be no more than maybe $200-300 million, maybe. And that's
What are you
how
basing that
it's
number on?
just me. I'm just telling you how I feel.
Just saying. No, but it's deeper than that. You picked the number. What is that number based on? You just said they can run on 20% of their budget. Where is that coming from?
I think 20% is being generous.
Exactly, which is not. What is your basis for?
My basis is that blue MAGA makes.
No, I'm talking about the 20% of the defense budget.
No, I don't think it should be $1 trillion. I don't think it should be $900 billion. If it were me proposing a bill, I would say about 300 million. I'm not stupid at saying, oh, we shouldn't have a military. Now, that's not what I'm saying. But I don't think we need to be making bombs and kill fair to the level that we're doing now. That's my personal opinion.
But here's how mine would differ from yours. Because we both agree that it's bloated and it's corrupt and there's a lot of waste going on. Okay. My approach is that you need to have a deep audit of the Department of Defense. And then that will let us figure out where the cuts are, where the waste is, and come up with a new budget. You just picked an arbitrary number of like saying, yo, I'm just going to take, you get 20%. You get 20 cents of every dollar. And I need you to now still be able to pay for the soldiers that we have. Because what happens? You're gonna fire the other soldiers? Where they gonna go to work? Where they gonna live? How they gonna take care of their families? What? That's part of that money. Or you know what I'm saying? Like,
the same
you can't just pick a number.
Jobs guarantee program to make sure that the soldiers that we absolutely cut, you would do more things. I'm just talking about in general. You asked me to give you an example. I'm giving you an example.
I get it. I'm just trying to air this out because at least when I'm talking, it's important to me that we don't just throw slogans and sound bites out because it's not right. You know what I'm saying? Like the feeling I get, but something comes with that. And if we don't expect more of ourselves in what we present out there, then that's a reflection of what we expect out of our politicians. Because who are you going to put up? You're going to put up somebody who's going to say military's budget, we need to cut that in half. And we need to have a jobs program where if you want a job, you can get a job. And we're not going to send any money to any other nation for their warfare. If we send them money, it's only going to be for humanitarian aid. And then sounds wonderful. Sounds great. Very good at a high level. But then once you look at what that actually means, you cut the defense budget in half. Where are them cuts coming from? Now, if you don't have a plan for it, you're going to end up with a Doge situation where somebody just runs in there and starts cutting stuff. And you end up cutting the wrong things. And then you got to bring people back and all that other stuff. You say, okay, well, we don't want to give any weapons anywhere or provide military aid. Okay. Part of the reason we keep some people safe and we get to live this weird, safe existence we live is because we send weapons for other people to go fight, so we don't have to go fight, right? Like, there's more to it. Is what I'm getting at. So yeah, that's what I mean. So it's like when you say blue MAGA, okay, they support Joe Biden no matter what. I can't think of anybody who supported Biden the way MAGA supports Trump.
The Voters' Rights Act, something. When I heard the Voters' Rights Act come up, I literally thought the Democratic Party, they cannot screw this up. This is an easy win. This is a yep, they're gonna do it. And here it comes. Nope, and nope, didn't get. I'm like, how? How are you that stupid?
I know how they lost it.
Literally right there. And you're gonna say Manchin and Sinema. I know you're gonna say Manchin and Sinema.
You said Voting Rights Act.
Yes, Voting Rights Act.
Yeah, that just got dismantled. Well, it was 2018 and then again this year.
No, it was 20. I'm talking about the John Lewis Voters' Rights Act. That's what I'm talking about.
That was not even a good bill anyway. It was better than nothing, but it wasn't a good bill. And so, yeah, we can look at that, but then we go back and we say, okay, why is it that all of the Republicans voted against it? You only needed like five Republicans. You're asking for perfection out of the Democrats, and you're not holding any accountability to the Republicans.
They should be brought to the carpet also. But when you mold your party, and you say, hey, I got into office because of the black vote. That's any Democrat. Biden, a senator, a congressman. They all got in partially because black people showed up. And I'm gonna pay you back. I'm gonna make sure. Then you turn around and say, no, you gotta wait.
Because that's what America has always done. And that's why I operate outside of some people's approaches. Because I look at America for what it is. Right? Malcolm X in the 60s was telling us the exact same thing. Right? They come to us, they ask for our vote. They say, we're going to take care of you. We're going to look out for you. And then they get in the office and they don't do nothing for you. And they tell you, wait.
We already knew they were scum buckets. And I'm talking about let me finish. We already knew, they're garbage. Everything they say, they don't want me to vote. They don't want me to have bodily autonomy. They want to keep my wages low. And when you run as the opposition party, and you say, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And every time you're conceding and you're bowing down and making concessions too much, I think that's where the third party is rising up, because we're like, there's some things you should absolutely not make a concessional. And there's some things you should not condone. For example, Biden, out of his own mouth, said he's a Zionist.
Yep.
He said it with his lips. I didn't make him say it. Nobody made him say it. He went on one of them talk shows that I don't watch no more and said, I'm a Zionist.
Yep.
And then you get mad, not you, but people in it who vote Democrat get mad because people like me hear that and say, I'm not voting for your advice, especially when she said, hey, I'm not going to change anything that Biden did. I'm going to do the same thing. And so we hear that, it's like, oh, okay. And then they made excuses. They made excuses for Biden saying this. Well, what does the war in Gaza got to do with me? Ever heard this word called apartheid? What you just said,
what you just laid out, is you blamed her for the actions of Joe Biden because she was the one on the ticket.
That people associate. She was on the ticket. What I'm saying is, she was associated. She has the same problem that J.D. Vance has. She's associated with her president because she's the vice. J.D. Vance is associated with his president, Trump. They're both going to have difficulties because they can't go against that person. He literally said that. There's no way that even if she wanted to, I'm saying take the chance and go against them. Because Joe Biden did it. There were several times during the Obama administration that Joe Biden went against what Obama was saying, and he did it
Like what?
publicly.
Like what?
The Obama's wait a minute, I know it. I can't think of it. It was either the banking crisis or the housing crisis. It was one of those two, and I can't think of it right now. But once I think about it, I'll come back against it. I'm saying I want her to take the chance and come out and say, no, I don't think he did enough.
I get
I know
that.
she can't do it. I know
So
she
then-
can't do it, but I'm saying I want you to do it. I want you to tell the truth. Like, no, I don't think. Or she could have framed it like this. She could have said, you know what? He started something good with building our economy, but I'm going to do this, this, and this to expand it. She could have got it from that angle. But when you say, oh, I don't think of anything else I would do different, really? That's your answer?
So not just for you, but when I have similar conversations, this is the topic. This is the thing that people point out for Kamala that was why they were just like, no, right? And what gets me is that is saying she had to literally be perfect for people to vote for her. And truth be told, you wouldn't have voted for her anyway.
Well, I wasn't going to, I made up my mind. Well, no, I'm going to be honest. There was a time, like right before the Democrats announced it wouldn't be a primary. Because
But she wasn't a candidate then.
No, because Biden was still the candidate. But I'm saying after Biden, I was like, ain't no way. But before Biden, I actually did vote for Bernie Sanders in the primary. I actually went down.
And that's cool.
Right. But I'm saying I did vote for him. But when you say I wouldn't have voted for her, I would have if she had the positions that I want. Because, I got 5 things. If you don't hit those 5, I don't want 4 out of 5. I don't want 3 out of 5. I want 5 for 5.
Right. And that's fine. So you wouldn't have voted for her.
If she had came out for my 5 issues.
If she was you would vote for her. But she's not you, so you would not have voted for her.
No, that's not fair.
Because we went through your list of 5, and those 5 are not shared by nearly any candidate that has tried to run for president. So no one meets that mark.
No, that's not true.
Who? Because I know you can't say Cornel, because he ain't have a plan for how you gonna govern internationally.
But international politics, well, even though it's in my top 10, it's not my top 5.
Okay.
Well, Jill Stein, okay, I'll give you somebody I didn't vote for, but hits all my 5. Jill Stein hits all my 5. She's for reparations. She's for universal health care. She's for student loan debt. She hits all my 5.
Okay.
Did I vote for her? No, I didn't. Because I feel like personally she talks at Black people not too, but that's a me thing. That's a me thing, right? So I have to put some of my personality into that decision. But when
it still brings us back to you wouldn't have voted for her.
I would say if she were for my 5, yes, I would have.
But she's not all 5.
No, she's not.
Exactly. So, but that's cool. That's you as an individual and your litmus for it. But what I'm getting at is the frustration with her not separating from Biden on Gaza was enough for a lot of people to just say no. And when we talked about it just a few moments ago in this discussion, we touched on the fact that she literally couldn't separate herself from him, because if she had said what people emotionally wanted her to say, that would be totally bereft of any kind of tactics. It would just been horrible.
Yeah, because tactics. I think that but we wanted, like I said, there's a way she could have answered that question and said, hey, and I'll pick the economy because it's the easiest one to pick. She could have talked about what Biden did for the economy, then said, hey, I'm going to expand on it. I think one of her plans was to build like 3 million homes, and I'm going to do something about price gouging. Well, Biden never
would have pulled it right back and said, but we asked you about Gaza.
No, I'm saying when they were asking her what you would have done differently. That's one. If she were picking Gaza, she could have said, hey, if she had literally said a weapons embargo, I think she would have got a lot of that Arab vote in states like
She
Michigan.
couldn't say that either.
I
If
think
you're the vice president, the president sets the agenda and sets the terms. You are the vice president. You're not just a candidate. So if you say something separate from what the president says, that gap is what we call arbitrage. That is where all the news will fall, right in that gap. And that will cause even more issues on the international scale, because now you got to deal with that cleanup. All because you said what you would do different instead of just, I don't know what the best answer is because I'm not a politician, but a better answer simply would be, I am not going to answer that question for you right now. And the reason why I'm not going to do it is because I am the sitting vice president, and it would not be right for me to speak on international affairs in that manner. Still wouldn't have satisfied everybody. They still would have done the same thing they're doing right now. But all that aside, that's the one thing that we can easily hang our hooks on. Why is it that just one thing? Right? Because that one thing has a counterpart. And that counterpart is the other guy who's running. And what do we know that guy is going to do when it comes to Gaza? Because it was no mystery. He had already had a track record as far as what he's going to do with Gaza. He moved the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem for this. He showed every sign that he would be in lockstep with Netanyahu in his first term. So her not having the answer that soothed our spirit was enough for us not to vote for her. Us, big us. Not for us not to vote for her, knowing full well the other guy will do more harm to the issue that you say you care about. That was wild to me then. It's wild to me now.
Like I said, I'm not saying that she could have said it, because I know, like, legitimately, I know she couldn't have said it, because everything, even if she had picked the economy and said, Ham's going to do this, they'd be like, oh, she's suggesting Joe Biden didn't do anything. And I know that. I get that. But I think for the people that were, especially third parties, that wanted to, because I know a lot of people that signed petitions, that got out there and got signatures, they ended up voting for Kamala.
A lot of third parties and independent people still voted for her.
Yeah,
because they looked at it and they said, this is what I'm after and this is what I'm fighting for. And then that's what's going to happen. So at this particular stage of the game, 3 months ago, my position was different because time was different. I still was fighting to get us somewhere. Now, here we are at the deadline, and these are my options. So they chose that way. Cool. Some others were saying, I'm still going to stand on my principles. Cool. But understand that your principles didn't help your cause any more than anything else. But it's still your principles. Fine. I don't even care about much of that now because it's back there. Where it matters to me now is it informs how people are going to act next.
Right, because I think the problem she's going to run to, because I think she's running. She's making all the seats. She's already wrote the book. She's already on tour in her book. And you're saying you hope not. But if she, let me put this situation to you. If she runs again and gets, well, first of all, she's a terrible debater. Like, girl, don't show up to no debate. Don't do that to yourself, because you don't debate well. So she needs to get some coaching on how to debate, because she doesn't know how to do it well.
Because she likes to do a real debate, not what we call a debate.
Yes, she examines very well. Like when she was grilling those people in the Senate, she does that well. I'll give you your props every day of the week. I'm gonna give you your
which
props.
I would say is more in line with doing the job than our version of the debates.
Right. But this is where most American citizens, that's where they're making their choices at. That's just, it is what it is. They're not looking at, like, me going to Open Secrets is like, oh, well, who's giving you money? Because that's another thing I do. Most people don't do. I literally go to Open Secrets and I see, oh, well, this person gave money and this person gave money and that person. The average, I got to take the kids, I got to take care of my parents, I got to go buy groceries, I got to go. They're not doing that. So they're looking to the debates. So
I don't give them any pass for that, but okay.
if she does run, like I said, number one, she's going to have to do much better job as debating. But I think a lot of people that didn't vote for her, and I'm speaking from just family experience, felt like she never presented who she was.
I think she did in the beginning, and then when she started to show real signs of like progress, like she could win this thing, she started listening to the Democratic consultants, and that was it. Because she, even though she was hobbled coming into her run, her little short run, she started off great for her anyway.
Yeah,
She started off great,
gangbusters. I
right?
mean, she was out here raising $1 billion.
Doing the
mean,
thing.
that is
And I'm
what
not
it
even
is.
caring about the money, because the money, they're going to throw the money at it because people are trying to, bet on the horses, right? But she was doing good. But then the consultants, it might have been her, but I think it was the consultants, said, you know what we should do? The same thing we always do. Let's get that magical crossover Republican voter.
Republican voter, that
And
white woman voter that don't.
y'all
And
went,
I
they
heard
went and
that on
chased
Roland Martin.
they went and chased the unicorn. And they went and
Oh,
the moment she did
yeah,
that,
that's
she
the
brought Cheney in there and made Cheney almost synonymous with her candidacy. It was over.
if you think if Cheney's endorsing me, I ain't say, I'm like, no, he can
No.
do like
If
I'm
Dick
like, you can vote
Cheney
for
endorsed me, it's no. If Liz Cheney, the hero of the whatever that
never
thing
Trump
they did,
movement.
she was the anti-Trump. She was the investigation thing. She did a great job. She put her whole career at risk, even though she's rich. I get it, but she loved what she does. So she put her all that on the line. Cool. So if she wanted to endorse me, thank you. We're not going on tour though. Like,
I ain't going up on tour with you. We ain't BFFs. You stay over
no,
there, I stay over here, and we're gonna just when
you talk
vote,
to your people and you tell your people that you
yeah,
endorse me, but you not coming over here with me.
We're not holding no press conference. We're not gonna do nothing. I ain't saying nothing. I'm like, oh, she's gonna vote for me. Well, that's a right
nice.
to vote for whomever she chooses, and I ain't saying no. My mouth is closed. No, that is not a flex. I don't know what consultant told her that, but she should have been smart enough to know. She should have been smart enough to know that's not a flex.
But I mean, yeah, she should have caught it. But she is a corporate Dem. So corporate Dems are always looking for that. They're always looking for that crossover Republican voter, even though they never materialize. But that's their obsession.
Don't exist. I'm like, look, y'all, they don't exist. Like in the Green Party, I've always criticized the Green Party for this, and I've always said it. I'm gonna keep on saying it. They don't talk to Christian voters at all. And I was like,
no, because they're mainly agnostic and atheists.
And that's why they keep losing.
They're very secular. Yeah.
You cannot win an election while you don't chase them. You have to have a conversation with the unicorn, right? You tell them what your information is, but you don't chase them. You don't put your resource, you don't put your money towards them. You don't bet on that horse. But you still,
But from the Green Party, my observation of them anyway, they have a definite blind spot when it comes to race. Not even a blind spot. They flat out ain't looking at it. Okay, so they don't have a strong record when it comes to race. That's my opinion on the Green Party.
Anyway. Yeah, I agree.
And then because they started out as being more of an eco-friendly, hug a tree type of thing, save the planet, they're adding more as they've gotten more mature and they've expanded. And they just have not closed that gap when it comes to religion and it comes to race. And when we talk about religion, this is a slightly different discussion, but And I was talking to a gentleman I know who is very religious, like yourself, and it's like, look, it comes across as though those of us who have left the faith or those who never were part of the faith, it comes across like we're hostile, but it's really not that we're hostile. It's that for our entire lives, Christians have tried to force their beliefs onto us. It's you go to a fair, you go to a party, you go to a baseball or football game. If you want to celebrate Christmas, if you want to do anything, it's always on the terms of the Christians. And they will make us feel bad, and they still do. I'm just a general thing, but you're wrong if you don't believe what we believe. And there's an aggression to it. Well, here's the thing. People respond to aggression. So you end up having aggressive responses to the point where now you're just being met with aggression and you ain't even did nothing yet. You just came to say hi.
I'm just here. And I think that's the thing. And I keep saying this, and I'll say it till I run blue in the face, which look how dark I am. That's probably not going to happen. But I'm like, if you purposely say, I'm not going to engage in that community, I don't care. I don't believe.
Think that it's that they're purposely saying they're not going to engage. Is that they're not going to engage on your terms?
They're not engaging.
No, because I'm just telling you, because because I walk that medium world, I can deal with anybody of any faith just because that's how I am. But the most aggressive people I encounter are all believers. All of them. Atheists are always nice. They're always like,
they're the most aggressive, mean.
No. Next time you have an untoward interaction with someone who claims to be atheist, who introduced religion to the conversation? More often than not, it's the believer who introduced it into the conversation.
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't make any happen. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you, and that's way it's gonna be.
So then I have the right to tell you what I'm gonna tell you, and that's not aggression. You coming to me, witnessing, sharing your faith. You come out of good meaning. You don't have any ill intent, but you're doing that. That is still imposing your beliefs onto me, not knowing if I'm receptive. So I'm not receptive. So now I'm going to push back. And now I'm being labeled as being aggressive when really I'm taking the mirror and putting it up to you, saying, you didn't like how I came at you. I didn't like how you came at me.
And I think, I see where you're going, but I would say it this way in terms of Christians. That's our job. We were told to go make disciples.
But you're also told you're a peculiar people and you would not be welcome. So can't get mad.
And people don't listen. Jesus said, leave them alone. Just wipe that dust off your feet, keep it moving.
And you need to know.
Argue with you.
And you need to know what you know, And what happens oftentimes is, like, I'm one of the worst people. I'm one of the worst people for a well-meaning Christian to engage with, because I know your faith, because I practiced it. So you're not going to be able to come at me with slogans and sound bites, right? Because I'm always going to come back to how you live. Don't come at me with all this stuff about all these words. How you living? And then let's compare how you living and how I'm living. All right. So, right. And that is always where we end up finding ourselves coming together, because we find that there's really not a lot of differences between us.
Right. But what I'm saying is that, a party that says, oh, we're about humanity and, one big umbrella, and you're not hitting up one big umbrella, and you're purposely saying, you're going to keep losing. You're going to keep losing. If 65% of your population, let's just say I live in Indianapolis, and I would say about maybe 50 to 55% are Christians. I would be literally stupid if I just never talked to that. I'd be stupid. I would be
But
literally stupid.
so let's touch that a little bit because, and I'm going to find out more because I share a lot of your frustrations when it comes to the Green Party. I just do. All right, because they are a malformed group, in my opinion. They're still needing a lot
They
more
mean
development.
well. It's like you mean well, but
But
just tweet
Christians
this,
mean well, Muslims mean well. You know, so everybody means well, but it's about how
but
you
they
employ
don't
it.
do well. Yeah, you don't
Right.
do well.
So what I was about to touch on is though, like, what do you think about, because they don't focus on the religion, like they don't focus on Christianity, they don't focus on Islam, and they don't focus on Buddhism, and they don't
And
focus on, right? They come at it very secular. I know that they do, okay? But they try to come at you with the other demographic touch points. So they come at you on women's issues. They come at you on race. Well, they don't do good with race. Well, let's say they come at you with race.
they do terrible on race. I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you because I used to be. This is why I tell everybody why I left the Green Party. Because what I was finding is they'll listen. It's like when you come to them about Buddhism, oh, that's great. I want to know more. When you come to them about Islam, more. Let me make the mistake. Let me utter. Let me quote a Bible verse in the New Testament. Oh no, I can't. No, it's a difference, and maybe
I agree.
I'm seeing it from a Christian standpoint. It's like
Mhm.
you're isolating me when I could be an asset to you.
But do you see that you yourself are a representative of a group that has overwhelmingly isolated the very people that you're saying are isolating you?
I think the Green
So
Party does
why would I
isolate.
continue to be welcoming to people who were not welcoming to me? Like, why
Well,
am I
that's why I left. That's why I eventually said,
but
okay, I'm
get where
done.
I'm going with this. Let's say, because I'm not an atheist, but let's say I was an atheist. And part of the criticism of me is that I don't make it more welcoming for a person of faith to be in my space, right? And that's the criticism. But we can acknowledge that this is very well a reaction to the fact that I was never welcome in your space because I was an atheist. So, which one of the two of us is under a commandment to love and to fellowship and to share and to teach?
Well,
Which one of us is under that unction? Is it ain't me?
Yeah, it's me. I don't disagree with
So
you.
your response is, "Nah, I'm out of here." But I'm not. That ain't my fault. I'm not the one who's supposed to walk like Christ. I'm not the one who's supposed to walk among non-believers.
Yeah, but when you're constantly asked to put aside, there's one thing I will never do, and that's to put aside my faith. I'm not doing it.
Never deny your faith.
Not gonna do that. But when it's implied that I should, I have no more use. It's like, why am I showing
That's
up there?
fair.
You're just disrespecting me right from. I don't have to be a part of it. Now
That's fair.
I can vote for Green Party candidates. Absolutely, we'll still do it. Absolutely, I will give money to the Green Party. But me being a part of that political building process, nah, I don't need. No, I'm good. I'm good. And so I think any party, whether it's Green, Republicans do a good job of it, but they're just a bunch of Pharisee liars. Republicans do a better job of reaching evangelicals than any other
Because even
political group.
straight up and down, like I said before about behavior and
I
stated faith,
understand.
evangelicals ain't Christians.
I didn't say they were, but they do a better
So it's easy to welcome. It's easy for a devil to welcome another devil.
I'm just saying this in general. They do a better job. And if you're going to win in 28 and 26, you got to look at what your opponent does well. You got to look at, they do this and this and this and this, and they do this, and they communicate. The one thing I will always say, and people will always disagree with, and I don't care. Say what you want about Trump. Say he's stupid. Say he sleeps at meetings. Say he's evil. But the man knows his base. He knows what to
Yeah,
say to get
because
his
his
base.
base is evil. His base is
I
a
didn't
bunch of
say they
liars.
were.
His
I said
base,
he knows
but
how to
he's talking to
communicate
his
to his
own
base.
people.
I didn't say that he wasn't evil. I didn't say anything. I
I
said he
know you
knows how to
didn't.
talk to his base. The Democrats don't know how to talk to their base, and I'll give
I
you an
agree.
example. The Democratic voter is saying, hey, let's not support Israel and bombing the Gaza. Let's
Agreed.
not do that. Don't do that.
Mhm.
What does the established Democrats do? Oh, no, we're going to fund them even more.
Not
What?
even the established. I think that's important for us to draw this line. It's not that it's the established Democrats. It's the leadership. It's the Democratic leadership. It's the
Leadership.
people who control the money and control the message. And they are ignoring, they're ignoring their voters, no matter where they sit, whether they're progressive, DSA, midstream, whatever those people call, what do they call them, moderates, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Leadership is ignoring all of them because leadership
Yeah,
is looking at who's giving me money.
Exactly. And I'm just like, you don't listen.
Yeah. That's why I've gotten to the point where the Democratic Party is irredeemable and it has to go away. But in order for it to go away, I strongly believe something has to step into the gap.
So let me ask you this, totally change the subject. I know it's only 2026. Two-part question. Is the Democrat okay? So the Democrats would have to be the stupidest party in the world if they can't win the House this term. They would just have to be, I'm like, y'all just want to lose.
Or
Y'all
some
just,
massive cheating, which is really about to happen.
see, I don't think massive
Really
cheating
about that.
happens. And I'll tell you why, because everybody's looking for it.
But you can look for it, but you can't do nothing about it.
But how would you massively cheat, though? I'm like, well, how would you cheat?
Yeah. So one of the things I think handicaps what I'm about to say.
They won't make the attempt. I think they'll make the attempt,
they're
but I don't
already
think it's
working on
gonna.
it. Right, because that's where the gerrymandering and writing new voter laws and doing all the stuff they're doing right now. That's part of it. But remember when we looked at New York, the state of New York, and in the heavily Democratic areas, Kamala Harris didn't get a single vote. How does that happen? Even by accident, you'll have some votes, especially in the Democratic areas. So the fact that there were sections where she got 0 votes, and now this is all tying stuff together, and you think about you have a guy whose entire purpose in life is technology, and you got people who were prosecuted and jailed for manipulating voting machines in multiple states. All of that happens, and then this guy wins by the narrowest of margins.
Or you could go back to the old school and do paper ballots.
Perhaps, but what I'm just saying is, when you were saying, like, how could they cheat? Like, that's
okay,
how
so let me rephrase. Like I said, if they don't cheat, which again, I think they're making the attempt, but I still think the Democrats would have to be the stupidest party ever not to turn the House. So
I mean,
yeah, I just can't. I would love to have. Even though I have still some questions about Schumer, Sawant, and Washington. Hi, we were just talking about you. Even though I would want Sharma Sawant, even though I have hesitation about her, because she's another one to me. She talks at Black people. She don't talk to Black people. Sharma Sawant. She's running as a socialist in the state of Washington against Adam Smith. So just for her beating Adam Smith, okay, I would hope she wins, but she probably won't. Even if the Democrats win the House, there'll be another impeachment here.
Yeah.
There will be. Absolutely. He'll get impeached. If the Democrats can carry enough of the Senate and flip it. Because remember, John Fetterman is not going. He's basically in the Republican Party. Just mark him off.
Yeah, he wants to go, but from what I saw, a little blurb earlier today, the Republicans don't want him. So he's like politically homeless.
But he's not going to vote to impeach Trump. He just won't. It's just not going to happen. So you would have to flip. They would have to flip. Let's see. The race in Kentucky is a toss up.
No matter how you flip it, they don't have 60 votes.
I think they come really close. I do think they have 60 votes
in the Senate.
If Tallarico could somehow pull Texas off,
right?
And I'm saying somehow because I still don't think Texas turns blue. I can't see it happening.
But I'm thinking best case scenario from what I've seen is the Democrats can end up with 52 to 54 seats. Best case, all the stars align, right? 52, 54
seats. Get 60. They could get 60.
You're not going to get 6 votes.
No, you would have to pick up Maine, North Carolina, and maintain Minnesota.
It's too many ways for them to lose. But I'm saying, like, let's say the election happens and best case scenario happens and we get 54 Democrats. You got 54 Democrats.
But that's not enough to pass anything.
Right. You got about 2 of them that's going to be. Votes. Yeah, you got 2 of them that's going to be flaky and they're not going to do it. And then you're not going to go get them. The Republicans are going to be afraid for their lives if they voted against Trump. Because that's the missing factor that people oftentimes overlook. So there are probably Republicans who would love to stick it to Trump, but they literally are at risk for their lives if they do it. So you got that. So I was like, that's so. But anyway, I am a firm believer though of make them lie to you. So I don't care if the Senate won't convict. Go ahead and impeach this dude for the 3rd time and the 4th time. Go ahead. I mean, I'm like, hey, bring up articles for impeachment for this issue.
Okay.
Then
so
do another one.
Yep. I just looked. Okay. So Maine, they have to win Maine. If they're going to flip and get Trump out of office. And keep in mind this, if Trump does come out of office, that means J.D. Vance becomes president of the United States and we way worse than we are before. But I'll leave that to another day. So in Maine, that's a toss-up. North Carolina, Alaska, and Ohio. They didn't take in consideration the race in Kentucky, which is a toss-up now. They didn't take in place of the state of Iowa, which is a toss-up. So they pick up one of those 2 states, they move a whole lot closer.
But it doesn't. That's not my point. My point isn't about you getting closer. My point is you're not getting past 54. So
I think they get.
They're at 48 now.
Yeah, they can get sick if they tried. I don't think they want to try because I don't want.
Well, that's fair. The Democrats don't know how to try for anything.
They don't want to try it.
Right, because the people who are in charge get paid regardless.
Because if they wanted to try, Andy Beshear would be like calling for a special election and making Mitch McConnell prove that he's alive. They're not serious. And that's my ultimate problem with the Democrats. They don't try because they don't want to.
No, I fully agree. Hey, and first I'm going to bring up Anna's comment, then I'm going to bring up, it looks like Arthur, I'm sorry. I have bad eyesight, whoever this is, so don't hold it to my heart. So Anna first asked, do you separate corporate Dems from establishment Dems? And I do. But it's a difference without measure. Like, they're just another part of what makes up the Democratic Party. Because I look at the Republican Party as being largely homogenous. It's like 2 or 3 segments of Republicans. And the Democrats is extremely diverse. We have so many different voices, so many different interests, so many different whatever going on. So, yeah, corporate Dems, I think, are beholden to the money, and establishment Dems are beholden to the power, which is not always the same thing, right? So that's how I would separate it. What about you, Tracy?
I think they're exactly the same. I think they are because if you're establishment, you're taking corporate money.
Well, I mean, if you're not a salesman, you're still taking corporate money.
Well, no, yeah, I just tend to think that they're the same, and the reason I think they're the same, I actually think that when I think of when I think of a corporate Democrat, I think of an established Democrat. I think Chuck
Fair.
Schumer. I think Hakeem Jeffries. I think of that little piece of nothing in St. Louis that beat Cori Bush. I think of that's just what I tend to think. So I just associate them together for
I
me.
agree. That's what I'm saying. I see them as different, but barely. All intents and purposes, same group of people. All right. Because, like, to me, Chuck Schumer, I would put in establishment, but then I would take Cory
Now,
Booker and put him in corporate. Right.
now
Like,
look, AOC, if you listening to me, AOC, Chuck Schumer is up in 2028. Girl, run for his seat. Run against him.
I think that's her
Primary that.
plan. And I think she'll be more powerful there.
Yeah,
New comment here. Neoliberalism is how we got here. Democrats and Republicans
amen.
have no answers. Fully agree. Fully agree. Where a lot of times we come into a difference with how I approach things and how other people approach things is I take that as a given. I agree with that historically and currently. And then I say, what do we do next? And see, that's where I like to have the conversation. Very few people want to be in that conversation because there's accountability there. There's testing your beliefs and your opinions and your thoughts and all those things. Because to me, Democrats got to go. But it would be horrible for the nation and especially for my community for the Democrats to go and not have something better to take its place, because then all we have are Republicans. So if for nothing else, the Democrats can soften the blow of this horrible thing over here, but nobody's our friend, right? So
Right.
we need an alternative. And my alternative is we need to focus on the third party system and force it into being competitive and fighting amongst itself so that we end up with at least 1 to 2 bona fide, well structured running parties. And I don't think any of the ones that are out there right now are the ones that should survive this, but that's where I would say we need to go next step.
I agree but disagree. Because again, for me, it's all about ballot access. Ballot access, until the public realizes that ballot access is what's keeping our current government intact, it's going to be hard to change anything. For example, in the state of Indiana, we just made ranked choice voting illegal.
Right. Because Republicans have the power.
Exactly.
Right.
Indiana has 100 legislators total. 80 of them are Republicans.
So when we look at things like that, I think it's all about how we want to kind of approach it. And no one's going to like my answer because my approach takes time. Right. So in that particular case, the best way to disrupt and be able to get new laws, you'd have to flip your state Congress.
You have to flip it. I agree. I agree with flipping it. But you have the Indiana Democrat Party doing this.
Exactly. But the answer to the problem is you have to change. You have to change Congress. So that means you have to elect third parties and you have to elect Democrats. And then it's hard to get on the ballot as a third party unless you're one of the two that's able to be on the ballot. There's probably only one that's able to be on the ballot. But say that that's not an option then. It's just too weak. Cool. Well, then you got to play with the hand you're dealt. And that means you got to run as many Democrats as possible into your state legislature, even if you don't like them, because they will offset the Republicans. And then you can change some laws.
Yes, but you have to have Democrats that are willing to change the laws. Not only did I'm going to use the ballot access as an issue because it purposely it sets out what I'm talking about. Not only did Republicans vote to make ranked choice voting illegal, it was some of them 20 that say, you know what? yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, wait a minute. So I would say, I always talk about us because we're the Texas of the North. We have to figure out a way to defeat them. And I think we're doing it with the Indiana Socialist Party. They're running candidates who are actually on the ballot. They will be on the ballot in November. They got
Mhm.
their ballot access won because they ran in smaller cities. So they have to go out. Like if I ran in Indianapolis as a third party candidate, I would have to get 15,000 signatures because Indianapolis has 1 million people in it. So I would have to get 15,000, which means I have to actually get 30,000. Um, I'll answer that question here in a second. But I would have to get 30,000 because I already know that the Indiana Secretary of State's office is petty and they're going to throw away signatures for the dumbest of reasons. So I have
Mhm.
to
And the
get
Democrats are going to
twice.
help them.
That's my point. So you're saying elect more Democrats, but I'm saying if you're going to follow that, you got to elect different type of Democrats, right? You can't just keep electing the status quo.
I
We're going to
disagree.
do whatever the Republicans say and da da da.
I think at the end, further down the line, you have to have better Democrats. Early on, it's only a numbers game. It's purely a numbers game. We want to
Right.
change the dynamics of the
Or do
vote.
you want a Democrat in name only? Because if you look
Yes,
at John Fetterman, he's a Democrat.
right. But how do you vote? So if we elect Democrats and you get more than a handful, because right now you got like 20, right? You got 20 up against 80. That means no matter what they do, they lose. Right? You know, you lose. So you want to be able to get that mix to more like a 45-55 or 50-50 or 60-40 or whatever. But that means you got to flood the zone with Democrats and you don't have a lot to draw from because no one's really farming Indiana. Like farming Indiana for Democrats is like farming, you know, what's another one?
West
Iowa,
Virginia,
right?
Kentucky,
West Virginia, right?
Ohio,
The states
Texas.
of
I mean, just name them.
the party
Any
turned
state that voted
away.
for Trump.
Right. Some of these states have already sacrificed various states. It's just like the exact same logic that went into how we ended up with North Dakota, South Dakota, right? It's like, okay, we're gonna have a slave state, we have a non-slave state, right? So the Democrats and Republicans, they play that same type of game to this day.
Yep.
We're gonna have a Democrat state, we have a Republican state. That's why we don't have Puerto Rico as a state. We don't have Guam as a state because there's a fight about, well, both of those states will go Democrat. So there's no way we're going to let you turn territories into states, right? Because it'll mess up the Senate. So to overcome the things we say we have a problem with, we got to do some things we don't necessarily want to do. And that
Right, but
means
then
you got
aren't
to
you
convince them.
assuming then those Democrats are going to vote the right way? And I'm saying, I don't think they will because they've proven they won't.
No, I disagree. I am saying that the odds are more likely than not that they will vote against Republicans, provided there's enough of them. So, like 20 Democrats, their whole purpose, and I can just say this about them without even knowing them, their whole purpose is stay in office. It's 20
Right.
of them. It's a cushy job. Everybody got to come to me to get favors. My family is set, right? So their job is to stay in office, not to make waves. They do a few moments here and there to make it look like they're doing something, but really they're not doing anything, right? That changes when you have 40 Democrats because now you're able to disrupt process. You're able to slow down bills. You're sitting on committees that you couldn't be in before. You're more of a headache than you were before. So you can actually vote against Republicans as opposed to just being like, let me just try to be quiet. So that will naturally happen when you have a larger pool. Now, the trick is in a state that doesn't vote for Democrats, how do you
Mm-mm.
get there?
Yeah, the
I don't
last time
know.
I see, yeah, because the last time a Democratic presidential candidate carried, it was Obama. He
And
actually
that's at the top of
elected.
the ticket.
That was at the top. It was so bad that Mitch Daniels, piece of crap, kind of ran under Obama's like change doctrine to get elected.
Yeah, so I agree with you, and it's not a pretty thing, and that's why I keep that's what I why I am working towards moving towards the third party thing, because I'm not going to allow myself to be absorbed
Oh,
with what happens in
see,
this 2 years and 4 year cycle.
see, I'm incorrect. So I had to look this up. There are a total of 100 seats in the Indiana House and Senate combined. 30 are held by Democrats and 70 are held by
Okay, so you
Republicans.
got to get
So
more
it's
Dems in.
70-30. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just wondering, like, I don't just think you just get a Democrat, just get a Democrat. I want
I don't think vote blue no matter who is a winning strategy. I
Yeah, because that
think
sounds like to me what you're saying, but I don't think that's what you're saying.
yeah, I'm not. But I am okay. So got to stay with me. So short term versus long term, right? So I'm trying to move the ball, I guess you could say. So short term, I am saying vote blue no matter who, because the whole purpose is I just want more bodies in there. Because for every Democrat that's in there, that's one less Republican that's in there. So I'm saying vote blue no matter who, because they're the easiest ones to get in. It's hard to get a third party or an independent in there because both the Democrats and the Republicans don't want them there.
And they're
So
working together to keep them
they
off the
work
ballot.
together to keep them out, right? Because I might only have 30% of the pot, but I have 30% of the pot. If you start letting third parties and independents in, now I got 20%. I don't like that. Right? So that's how the Democrats look at it. So I'm saying vote blue no matter who to flood the zone as a wave type of motion. But as far as an actual strategy to change things, now you got to start qualifying your Democrats, right?
And see, I'm saying qualify them from the jump. I'm saying,
And
nah.
you just can't. Unfortunately, you can't. You
And
know,
see,
because
that's
you
where I'm
need
getting.
people, you need bodies.
I'm saying in Tracy's world, and again, I'm assuming that both Marshall and Ben are going to win their seats because their Republican opponents are terrible and the Democrats aren't even running in one of their seats. Democrat isn't even running. So it's basically, I think it's Ben's race that a Republican is no. Um, I I would be comfortable. Well, let me rephrase what I'm about to say. Again, there's only maybe 5 to 6 Democrats who I would literally vote for president of the United States.
Because you're qualifying them as they come in. And I understand that. I'm just
Right.
saying that what I'm presenting to you is don't. Because
You're saying
if
just
you
throw out all mine. And
just throw all the Democrats you can in there, and now you can have a better chance of saying ranked choice voting when you have more Dems in there, right? Because now they got to listen to more Democratic voices, and
well,
Democratic
yeah,
voters actually want ranked choice, even though it's kind of messy. But
it makes more sense than what we have. Our winner take all system does not work, in my
well,
opinion.
here's pros and cons a little bit. Our
It's
current
hard to
system
explain.
our current system for statewide office is popular vote.
Right.
So in the primaries, that whole winner take all that needs to go away. But in the general, for a statewide office, it's already popular vote. So that's good.
You're talking about how like New York City did their mayoral race. They did ranked
Right. But if
choice
you're
voting in
talking,
the primaries, and then they did winner take all in the general.
well, I'm also saying, like, I think here in Georgia, actually a lot of states in the South, they have winner take all primaries, where if you hit, say, 48% and the closest competitor you got couldn't get over 30, you get it all, right?
I thought Georgia was a runoff state.
We do have runoffs, so I might be misstating that part. But as far as how that works, as far as winner take all, you get the most, you get the state. We're done. We're not going to do a whole lot of guesswork. I think, doesn't California have some version of a ranked choice kind of thing going on?
only Alaska has ranked choice voting. I know Alaska has it.
Alaska does? Okay. And then you said New York City does their thing.
In Arizona, because my last guess, he was from Arizona. I think Arizona has ranked choice.
Okay.
I don't think California does. Like I said, I know Alaska has ranked choice voting. I want to say South Carolina so bad, and I know that's not right.
All right. So ranked choice voting is already being used all across the country in a wide range of jurisdictions. As of the 2022 elections, it has been adopted in 62 jurisdictions. Some prominent examples: Alaska, Maine, New York City, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Minneapolis, Minnesota, and
Yeah,
San
it's not
Francisco.
statewide, right? Because Alaska, I know it's statewide, but there are those other places that enter naming, like they have it and then they don't have it. Like New York City, when they had their primary, they used ranked choice voting, but when they went to their general election, they went winner take all.
Yeah. So
So they
I'm
have
fine.
it, but then they don't.
Well, when it comes to the I mean, I don't care. I'll do either one, because I really don't care. Only place I have an issue is when we're talking about for president. Um, the electoral college is outdated and it needs to go. So I would
think, right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the nation is diverse enough, and technology is where it's at, where it doesn't take you 3 months to travel from one side of the country to the other. So the popular vote is sufficient. You know, if the country was less diverse, then I would still say we need something like an electoral college. We just need to change how it functions. But as diverse as this nation is, it should be popular vote.
Think that a party that has been shadowed, that has been done wrong twice with the electoral college, you would think that be one of their platform issues is to get rid of it, but no, it is not.
They absolutely will not, because one, they're still trying to court crossover voters.
Yeah, they're still trying to get that white female vote.
And
she won't vote for you.
She ain't coming.
Not coming for you, period.
And the Democratic Party is beholden to masters that win regardless, so they don't stand to gain anything from getting rid of the electoral college.
Okay, so let's look at Gore. Gore actually ended up winning his race. Hillary won her race, and neither of them are president. Well, common sense would tell me, hey, why don't we get rid of the electoral college that was rooted in racism, and let's just move on to popular vote? Well, that would make
But haven't the most recent presidents, other than this election where Trump did get the popular vote, haven't most of the Republican presidents since Reagan not won by the popular vote?
The popular vote. No, Bush didn't win the popular vote.
So there's no way they would be supportive of it, and they both get their money from the same people. Like, that's where the two parties come together.
I'm talking about the Democratic Party. They lost the electoral college, but won the popular vote. So you would think, oh, we should advocate for the popular vote because that's what the public like.
You would think that it's not even that they're not listening; they're intentionally ignoring, because it doesn't serve the leadership's goals, right? Because think about it, if the Democratic Party was actually concerned about what its voters are saying, it would be a left of center party, but it doesn't. So it is a right of center party, right? The Democratic Party is right of center. This is the Republican Party.
I would just say there's a right, and then the Republicans are far right.
So each time the Republicans become more extreme and move further right, the Democrats just get pulled along behind them. Like, I firmly think that the never Trumpers, they left the Republican Party, right? The ones that did leave the Republican Party, left the Republican Party because of how odious the president is. But they're going to become the new Democrats. They're going to get sucked in to the Democratic Party, and they're going to sit in the corporate and establishment wing, and they'll be calling the shots, which they largely are kind of calling the shots now, because they need something to water down the youth that are coming up. Because Democratic voters under age, I think they said like age 40 or something like that, they're not interested in this mess. So that's where you're getting DSAs and you're getting more looks towards the third party structure, is because the young ones are like, no. Right? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But I
can't.
think this election
Yeah,
is too close. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is one of those few times I have no idea who's running. On the Republican side, Mark or Rubio, terrible. JD Vance, terrible. I don't know who's the
Republicans will not present who is running until roughly a year out.
Right.
They just won't. Democrats,
right,
in my view, the Democrats are playing this way wrong. The Democrats are also trying to play this as business as usual. And I'm saying that's not good enough. The Democrats we should know who the Democratic contenders are now. We should already know who our top 3 contenders are, and they should be talking and moving and doing.
I would say 10. I'd be more comfortable with 10.
10 what?
10
competitors. Oh, no, I don't mind how many. I'm just saying your top 3, it shouldn't be a guessing game. We shouldn't be like, well, I think it's Gavin and I think it's Kamala, and I think
can tell you who
that shouldn't be happening.
I can tell you who it ain't going to be. Got 2 names for you. Westmore, no.
Don't even know who that is.
No. Governor of Maryland.
That's the black guy?
That's the black guy. He's going to be the second.
He's kind of wishy-washy.
And your Senator Warnock. I guarantee neither one of them going to get. I guarantee I will put my house on the line.
Warnock is my senator, and I would not vote for him. The only way I will vote for Warnock is if he's the nominee. That's it. I do not like any of these Democrats right now. I am hoping that there's going to be something that comes out of like left field, because this goes what I was just saying. We should know who we are looking at now.
But what you don't want to do is have a Trump of the left. That's what I don't want.
But that's the energy behind third party and independence.
That's what they want, and it's not working.
Yeah, I agree.
We want a Trump of we want somebody comes in, it's like, I'm gonna do this, and you don't realize, oh no, you got to work with other people. See, you got to work with us. It's other people. See, you can't just write stuff and become. Well, that's not how it works. We do, and I've said that before. We do. We want a Trump that's far left.
Yeah.
And as long as he's doing what we want, we're okay with it. We should not be. But that's what we.
But that's how desperate people are now. But that's where I'm coming from when you hear me talk about my third party plans, is we need someone who's coming in with change on the agenda, right?
It has a personality. Oh my goodness. Somebody throw JD Vance a personality. Oh my God.
No, please don't. Please don't. I need him to be as unlikable as possible.
That guy is white toast that's and a stove that don't work. Oh my God.
I'm surprised his wife gave him another kid, but that's a whole other thing. But on the left, and I don't think the Democrats have the ability to do it because their leadership won't let it happen. But the Democrats need someone who's going to come in with, and I'll just rattle off a couple of quick things: a universal health care plan. And I mean a plan, like how we going to do it, how we going to get it, and how it's going to work, right? We also need to have an immigration plan. How do we reform it? How do we adjust it? How do we make it work? And we also need to have what I would view as like an accountability process, like a tribunal type of thing. How are we going to go after the shot callers who extracted the most wealth and did the most harm during this administration? We need someone who's going to come in and say those things, take on those key things. Oh, and I'm sorry. And a plan for the Supreme Court. Got to have a plan for it, right? If you can at least have that, but you got to come at it not as a leftist who's about to push leftist ideals. You have to come at this when it comes to universal health care, because we know race is always such a big deal. We got to tie it to patriotism, because people on the left have patriotism. We just don't market ourselves that way. And people on the right think they have patriotism, even when they don't, right? But they love this country. So it has to be a plan that satisfies their needs, especially given how hard economically people are functioning right now. Let's take that off your shoulders, all right? So they need to have that plan. The Supreme Court, they need to have a plan just because it's bad. It's bad.
I have no idea who's running, like on either side.
Yeah, and I don't think Gavin will do it.
I agree with you that Harris should not run. I think she will run because she's doing too many things that says to me, oh, she's going to run. She already wrote her book. The only thing she's missing is a podcast. If you see her get a podcast, I'm like, oh, she's in.
She'd be so late. I don't know nobody want to watch that. Just go visit Michelle Obama's podcast more often. You'll be all right.
People would literally watch her podcast. The K-Hod.
No, she has a Michelle Obama. I think she has a podcast. I've seen her interviewing folks and talking to folks.
Yeah, she has one for her brother. But I'm saying Harris, she could get at least 100,000 subscribers. Minimum.
Oh no, she'd be in the millions because people have to follow her just to see what she's talking about, even if they don't watch her. But try it out, Kamala. Maybe that'll work for you, and you'll get all these viewers, and you'll be amazing, and you won't run.
Like, yeah, you're saying she won't run. I'm saying she definitely is running. She's definitely in. She's in it. I can't see, and I got a dark horse pick, and I know nobody's gonna agree. I think Jasmine Crockett might take a shot. Not as president, because she not quite ready for that.
I think we need her back. We need her like in the Senate or the House. I don't care which one. We need her back. But
I can see her because she's not as the headliner, no. But I can see her as a VP pick. I definitely could see
for
her.
Who? Nobody would pick her up. And I'm not saying that because like she's a black woman. I think that nobody would pick her up because she would outshine whoever they have. Like she doesn't have I don't think she has the star power across the country to run as president. But I think if you put her as your vice president, I think she is so dynamic that she will present the same risk Kamala did to Joe. Because I am convinced that Joe Biden put the kibosh on Kamala because he knew that she was better at facing the public than he ever could be.
Well, no, that's obvious. Yeah, I can't see her running as president, but a VP pick, yep, I can see it all day long. And
I wouldn't be against it. I just don't think it would happen.
I don't know if they would do it. I think it's going to be a white ticket. I can't see them not running two white males. I just can't see. I can't see the party running another female as the person that ends up getting the nomination. Now,
I think it will be a male because I think they're going to say we've ran two women in a row and it didn't work.
I don't think it'll be. I think it's going to be two white male, both president and vice president. I just can't see them going.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Unless you get Westmore to be your VP pick.
I think they're going to try to get Scott Kelly.
Oh, that guy.
I mean, I don't know anything about him too much except that he hasn't offended me in any way. But I think they're going to either try to put him at the top of the ticket or as a second. And then they'll attach somebody to him. And so that's in that case, I would see where they would try their best to do a Gavin Newsom and a Kelly. But the problem with that is you will not pick up any of the disenfranchised voters.
You need
won't get none of them.
somebody from a swing state, which Arizona is, but you need somebody from a big swing state, somebody from Georgia, somebody from North Carolina, somebody from
Ossoff is impressing a lot of people right now.
who?
Jon Ossoff.
Jon Ossoff is also Jewish.
He is, but if he's running as VP, he might get through. But I don't know.
I don't
At the end of the day, it's going to be what does white America want to vote for?
Really want to vote for. I can't see nobody that looks like me being president. It's just not.
Oh, I don't think that they would run another black president right now, simply because we don't have anyone on deck who's like ready, like that has that stage presence. But that's why I'm saying somebody could come from left field. And that person who comes from left field could be a Latino, it could be black, could be a woman, could be any number of things, but it's somebody we don't know to consider yet. As far as what we do know is a slate of people in front of us, it's probably gonna be, like you said, a white guy and a white guy.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I can just see Democrats. I know the Republicans ain't going. If the Republicans ran a person of non-white, I'd be like, wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Tell me what no they did.
I think somebody is sniffing the car fumes when they keep saying Marco Rubio. I'm like, no. They might put him in VP, but they will not put Marco at the top of the ticket.
And JD Vance ain't it. I don't know what y'all think.
I think JD, here's my guess, and I know we're going to wrap, but I think JD isn't even going to try to run for president.
No, because he's got one problem. He's got two problems. His wife is not white.
No, I don't think he's going to do it because I think Christian. He wants to put a little space.
Yeah, and she's not Christian. He's in a mixed marriage.
Oh, he'll just leave her. He'll just leave her.
I don't think that works.
I think that if he were to divorce Usha,
she would have to divorce him.
White lady.
He would have to divorce. She would have to divorce him to get over. Because if he divorces her, that's not going to go over well with the evangelicals.
I don't know, because the evangelicals that are attached to this movement, they're not attached because of Christ. They're attached because of white nationalism, white grievance, and greed. So he can still get them.
Do you think
right? He became a Catholic to get some. I won't put nothing past him to all of a sudden switch to being like some type of super Christian and getting rid of his wife and getting some little blonde hair woman to be his new wife.
Now, are we describing somebody that's associated with a general pact that she was left by her husband?
I'm not talking about that Kirk lady, because she has ruined her social cachet. She's losing the MAGA team. She's losing all kinds of stuff right now. So if that would have been a match previously, but in the current stat, I think that ship has sailed. But all he needs is a wealthy, connected white woman.
Billionaires?
Yeah, some heiress. And he could try to do it, but he can't do it in time for 2028. Like he
so
can't
he
do it.
Gets divorced in 29 or 30 and then gets ready for 32.
Or he gets divorced right before 28. And so he becomes a sympathetic character.
It would be easier for him if she divorces him. I think it's going to be much harder if he divorces her.
Because I think he tried to get her to divorce him already. I think that's what all that mess was during the Charlie Kirk situation. I think that was him trying to get her to drop him. But she's smarter than that.
She ain't no dummy. She ain't no dummy now. I mean, sure, she'll let her husband drag her publicly and let Republicans. Yeah, and who wants if I'm your spouse and you running for vice president and you let some Republicans drag my name to the we done. We are done.
We're looking at a situation where These are both upwardly mobile, very ambitious people. It's like you
This
don't
is
marry a
American
JD
convenience.
Vance because you love him. And you don't
Yeah,
marry a Ted Cruz because you love him. It's a marriage of
that's who I think
convenience
is
and
that
political
you just
expediency.
named the person who I think might get the Republican nomination.
No, I think he might run, but I'm not going to vote for him.
When your own party don't like you, you know you messed up. Like, man, they don't even like you.
Yeah, Ted Cruz ain't
I
going
think
nowhere.
I think Tim Scott gives it another run around.
I doubt it. I think he's just going to enjoy being the senior citizen. The senior senator for South Carolina, and he's going to rake in all kinds of money as such, and that's what he's going to do.
Here's who I hope doesn't run, and I'm not a fan of his, and you're not a fan of his. Cory Booker, don't you run for nothing. Don't
Yeah,
you run for nothing. Don't you
Corey don't
just
even need to run for the bus. Corey, just stop.
spit it out. Don't run no more. I know
Yeah,
you got
we
fake
good.
marriage. Let me shut up. I ain't gonna say his marriage is fake.
I'm not
That's not
slandering the
his.
marriage part of it. It didn't make sense. It didn't smell right, but it
Yeah,
seemed
I'm
like
like, no,
it
wait a
seemed
minute,
very
come
Tim
on.
Scottish. But fine. He's a corporate dim. He's on the take, but he's a seat filler. So until we're ready to start getting better Democrats, and Corey stay in office and do what you're doing, just keep voting the right way, and fine.
And we gotta hope that Haley Stevens does not win. And I can't take no more of that. Like I can't. I know I'm in Indiana and she in Michigan, but they ain't going to Michigan. Y'all got to no, no, no.
I like Syed because he has a track record of caring about people, and he talks a good game and he's consistent. So I hope that he is what he appears to be, and as such, I hope he wins. But I don't look at any politician as who their personality is per se, because
Yeah,
they're
because
all employees.
they got that off camera thing. You don't know what they doing.
Well, that's why I'm saying they're all employees. They're all tools. They're all things to you go do this job, and if you do the job, then you stay there. And if you don't do the job, we need to pull you back, and that's on us to do a better job of pulling these people back. That's on us. And then we'll see what happens. But Michigan's not my state. The Democrats aren't my party.
And there's no third party candidate running in Michigan. So there's no Green Party for me to say, oh, I support this person.
Well, like I said, I am still registered as a Democrat. My voting record is Democrat, but I am shifting to move. But I need to build the place I'm going. Right, like I'm not going to sell my house and then go try to find a house. No, I got my house. I'm going to go look for my other house. If I got to build my house, I'll build my house. But I'm not going to be homeless trying to figure this out. No, I will be selective on when and who I vote for in the Democratic Party. They are nothing but sandbags to me. They are there to provide an obstacle to the Republicans. That's what I need them to do. I don't care about what their ideologies are per se, because I know whatever they believe, whatever they want to do, politically, socially, constructively, it's less harmful to me, my community, and the communities I care about than the Republicans are. And so I will always vote to minimize the Republican influence.
Yeah, I get where you're going. But it's gonna be an interesting time, guys. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Because I'm like, oh no. Because in 2020 and 2024, I could make guesstimates, and I was pretty much right. This one, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because it's not a normal election. So
I'm just saying, Cory Booker, don't you run. That's all my message is.
And I'm on don't run for president, but keep running for your seat. So yeah, but hey, let's go ahead and call this one. I thank you so much. We're almost at that 2 hour mark. Thank everybody who has tuned in and the comments that have come through. I'm not good at doing this, but like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it. Make me get to at least 100 subscribers. And Tracy, please go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and where to find you.
Tune in tomorrow. I told you guys at the beginning, I got a long week. Sunday's the Tracy Show, Monday's the Tracy Show, Thursday's the Tracy Show. I got a busy week ahead of third-party candidates. Normal 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be joined tomorrow by Joseph Connolly. Oh, and we understand, and of course, I send my condolences.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
our heartfelt condolences to you and the family.
Take all the time you need,
all the time you need, because
it took me 22 years, and I'm still not over the passing of my mother. So it's gonna be a while, but that's okay.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. I can't.
Yep. So what was I saying? Oh, yeah, I got a busy week ahead. Tomorrow we're interviewing Joseph Connolly. He's actually coming tomorrow. He's from the state of Hawaii. I got a whole bunch of questions about the Hawaiian land grab that was going on there that he's been campaigning on. So tune in tomorrow. Tune in Sunday, Monday, Thursday. I got a big old week coming up. That's it for me. And remember to like, share, comment, subscribe to Thea's channel, Complex Mind, Simple Man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And finally, like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, please. So have a good one. Greatly appreciate it.